I'm not too grateful for the governance of present tense. If you claim your facts, then you best back them up with evidence. Next election, I'ma make sure we don't choose a demagogue. I want me a president who makes decisions through objective thought. And I don't mind the party, whether Democrat or socialist. The perfect candidate for me is stoic and emotionless. So someone build a prototype, run it at a local caucus. 2020, let's elect a robot to the Oval Office. Picture it, a ruling class of technocratic governors, a senate full of cyborgs and cabinet full of motherboards, gliding through the White House on electromagnet hoverboards. And if they fuck shit up, then we'll just cut the cord. Furthermore, if their parts get damaged, we'll replace them with a blinking screen. That way we can circumvent a Kennedy or Lincoln scene. And every 4 to 8 years we can update with a single chip. The electoral college, there's no need for us to tinker with. If it's signal dips, then it could self-repair itself like dog. It's got the fucking sum of human knowledge at its fingertips. Fuck a ballot box, there'll be an app that we can vote on and pick between inaugurating Megatron or Voltron. It never needed sleep, so we could have it running full time. An agency of androids, tell me what could go wrong. Look, I've seen the movies, I can tell why you'd be circumspect and try to run convergence tests and get its server circuits checked. But frankly, if you're worried about some sci-fi hazard, all we gotta do is equip it with a Wi-Fi password. If the threat of total holocaust is catch you at a crossroads, I've got it figured out. We'll throw a captcha on the launch codes, secure communications and encrypt classified cyber calls. The only type of wall we need to build would be a firewall. And if I recall, in 20 years our jobs will all be automated. So what's wrong with starting by getting robots inaugurated? Like, it'd be awesome. We'd have states run by delegates with silica for skeletons, Blade Runner replicants, and cut out human error. If only we had our country run by power-driven politicians, not the power-hungry ones. We keep it ethical and program them with moral checks. Never need to worry about no Oval Office oral sex. And look, I'm not saying they'd be perfect, they'd be full of bugs, but if things go from push to shove, the bullet slugs will pull the plug. And God forbid they gain themselves a sense of social sentience. Without question, they'd be claiming independence out of vengeance. So fine, I'll concede that there's two ways I see the future go, and both of them involve an ascendancy of computer code. The first is a future fate where human folk and robots coexist. The second's a more somber situation where things go amiss. It started innocuous. At first the fleet would cause no harm, holding babies, shaking leaders' hands with bionic arms, pantsuit, synthetic skin. But as we get to DEFCON 1, then we switch its hands out for blaster, prosthetic limbs cast from metallic tin, built-in mobile power source, and accidentally trigger global mecha superpower war. Covert operations, hordes of robot army overlords, tungsten exoskeletons, cobalt armored vocal cords. Meanwhile at the Pentagon, DARPA intercepted bombs, overseas spawn points targeting Decepticons, weapons drawn, Autobots decide to bust in battle mechs, ISIS issued nanotech, Russian hacker data theft, North Korean gamma ray missiles get the planet wrecked. And amidst the ruins and the fallen troops and metal screws would rise a second wave of Brazilian robot rebel groups who, if either one developed some sense of a free will, rather than trying to rebuild the world to be killed or be killed, and instead of fight on our behalf, they'd rather set up army drafts and get their party staffed by flesh and skin instead of kith and kin. Overthrow us hominids and try to start the world anew. Mutinies or shooting sprees to lock humans in servitude or wipe us off the planet. And when the 22nd century comes, we'll have ourselves a game of Risk played by sentient sentry guns. Mecha villain, Machiavellian monarchs run on JavaScript, playing real life Minesweeper on a Gaza Strip. Autonomous autocrats deploying for a Cold War. Dual core droids from both sides marching full force. Hunks of high level bipedal bright metal bots, special ops operating missile jobs. But I digress. Like, there's no need for me to go on. We've got scientists in place who'll study every proton. So here's the brighter futures we can bid this model so long. A ministry of androids, tell me what could go wrong. Really, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? I think I'm in love, but I've been feeling otherwise. These flutters in my stomach aren't butterflies, but cutting knives and not the butter kind. And if you listen close when she begins to speak, you'll hear a couple hundred sighs in the collective shut of eyes. Letters linger on her lips like lullabies. I think I've drowned a couple times inside her opal-colored eyes. She could do something as simple as sit down with the grace of Olympic dives. A perfect 10 photo shutter finish on her cocoa butter thighs. Catch her wearing loose pajamas on a Sunday, and she'd overshadow any supermodel on a runway. When she wakes up in the morning, she smells like vanilla essence and a bittersweet recollections of your adolescence. Summer camp and piano lessons and presents you got on birthdays. Orange creamsicle miracles and double plays on first base. And walk past her in the halls, and if your shoulders feel the slightest brush, you might melt to liquid gold, the lightest kind of Midas touch. I've seen the way she drinks espresso during classes and reshapes a paper cup into an emerald-covered chalice. Sugar packets pouring crystals, napkin origami cranes, gunning gorgeous glances to me through her Giorgio Armani frames. She's nearly perfect in almost every way. But she's got shit taste in movies. Ask her for her favorite titles, and she always likes to say she's down to go see anything by Shyamalan or Michael Bay. And also she's a psycho in the kitchen, it's a travesty. What kind of fucking monster cooks their pasta in a microwave? And she does this thing where she corrects your grammar if it's wrong, and clicks her tongue and winks, and shoots a playful finger gun as if she's won some sort of contest. Empress victor of a conquest, Mrs. Armchair Shrink, let me fix you with a comment. Princess cake you when you're down, worshipper to a godhead. It seldom happens that she listens to my voice and doesn't chime in quick with unsolicited advice. An unapologetic tyrant, a passive-aggressive rivalry. Ask her a question and catch a handful of sass and irony. And trust me, really, she is just the worst of board games. Debates about the rules like legislators at a court case. Tampers with the scales of justice, wielding pencils as her gavel. Once I even caught her cheating while she kept the score in Scrabble. She's a fucking wreck at checkers, plays Monopoly sloppily, always bringing up disputes and games of Trivia Pursuit. Sucks at Battleship and Risk, she fights better hand to hand. And don't even get me started about how trash she is at Candyland. Like you can't be bad at that game, yet you lose all the time. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm no Adonis either. Fashion sense abysmal. I've got 2 Nirvana t-shirts that I wear to formal outings, and I've never owned a cardigan. Catch me buying cargo pants at Target from the bargain bin. Drink milk straight out the carton. Use my hands to scoop out margarine. Breakfast table etiquette makes up our morning arguments, and I'm not a glass half full kind of guy. Shipwrecked flags half-mast hull kind of guy. I never was an optimist, not too good at compromise. The problem is my ego's far too fragile to apologize. But she always calls me out and takes me down a couple pegs too. It's always nice to have somebody close who double checks you. And honestly, we wouldn't be ourselves if we were different. Yes, she's clumsy and I'm stupid. Those are things that we can live with. Being perfect's unrealistic. Either way, I like our flaws. The way I crack my knuckles off in the obnoxious way she yawns. The way I stutter when I flirt cause I'm not very good with courtship. The way she's gotta pee the first 10 minutes of a road trip. How when she cuts her pancakes it's in slices, not in squares. The way my daily coffee intake is a crisis, I'm aware. The way I talk in crowded theaters. The way she parks in parallel. I wish I had the muscles of a granite sculpture. I would log on. Yeah, I like to think I'm well equipped as any other average guy, but I just can't discover love, and I don't even set my standards high. On top of that, I'm camera shy. Maybe I should opt out of the dating pool and be an undercover Tinder samurai, cause I would rather type online than whisper in a dingy bar, and swiping left and right could be my new Bushido ninja star. I'm well versed in virtual lovemaking ninjutsu. On every profile pic I post, I'm posing with my shih tzu, or flexing with my shirt off, cause I heard that gets you hits too. Especially OkCupid, I'm like arrows of the cherubs be. I pierce hearts of women with my cursor and my arrow keys, and disregard my Roman roots and choose a font that's serif-free. Trust me, I'm a Tinder bio brainiac. The way I kindle fire with matches, I'm a pyromaniac. On Christian Mingle, I'm a Casanova. If y'all don't think so, y'all can ask Jehovah. Check your inbox, he might send an answer over. I wish I had the muscles of a granite sculpture. I would log on Ashley Madison and bang adulterers. I'm so lonely, I've considered farmers only just for someone's arms to hold me. Also, I'm really big on agriculture. But if I had that body of a Grecian god, I would trawl on POF.com and use it as a fishing rod and hope I don't get catfish. The fact is, if I did, I'd probably play along cause God knows I could use the practice. And if I'm aching for my roots, I'd visit Shadi.com. Message Islamic, Wahhabi, Hijabi, Hadi, Salam. And Sunni, Shia, those are both denominations I respect, cause I just care for our connection. I don't care about the sex. Sometimes I uninstall my apps in reckless insurrectious rage, then regret it while I check the Craigslist misconnections page. Then I think that I should get out more and disregard my mobile cell. Get to know the local teller at my Barnes Barnes & Noble well, and check out what she's reading while she's charging up my total sale, and ask her if she likes the novel. And once she answers, ask her if she wants to grab some coffee or some ice cream waffles. She'd probably say that's awesome. I'd ask her when she's off of work. She might answer midnight. I'd tell her that sounds awful, what a bummer, and from somewhere I might muster up the nerve to get her number. And I would ask her what her digits are, and if I play it right, then I can disregard my ninja stars, say sayonara to katanas and my other weapons too, and try committing by committing online dating seppuku.
I always knew that we'd be by each other's side forever. Now our time has come, and I'd be satisfied if we died together. Yeah, our climate's fucked, we might as well enjoy the weather. Our time is up, and I'd be satisfied if we died together.
All this talk of greenhouse gases got me taciturn. Let's just stick our tongues out in the poison rain and let the acid burn. And when the earth swings out of orbit, we can spin in circles on the grassy ferns and just pretend to watch its axis turn. And on the bright side, if the sun explodes before our April break, then we won't have to do our tax returns. Here's the way I see it. If we're gonna die, let's do it on romantic terms. Like, we could linger on the boardwalk, watch tsunamis from the turf shore. I'll go get my board shorts and you can bring your surfboard. Maybe we'll hold hands as we get swallowed into Earth's core. Or we can sing a Christmas carol, like a little chorus choir, by 1,000 Christmas trees lit up from a forest fire. And watch the prancing, dashing comets blitz into the forest pyre. Not the reindeer, but the kind that killed the brontosaurus prior and all its dino peers. And if the ice age hits, then we can be rancheros on the high frontier, Anthropocene pioneers, and melt each other's hearts on thawing glaciers in a cryosphere. The worst part is this wasn't always something that we couldn't stop. Like, we lived through every benchmark. I remember me and you read every update about sea levels on our desktop. So if we can't save us, maybe we can save the future from environmental deadlock. Maybe in an era when we're settled into bedrock, a later civ would dig us out and we'd make headlines. Heck, we might even make a TED Talk, and we could write a note like, don't fuck up your planet, please. Look at how things turned out for humanity. And maybe they would read it. Or maybe they would use our carbon molecules and particles from follicles as fossil fuel. Maybe it's impossible to change things, but we can try them anyway. Be carbon complex renegades and then decay. And I would hold you near as we're infected by the Zika or Ebola scares, get smoldered by a solar flare, or iced out with the polar bears, I promise.
I always knew that we'd be by each other's side forever. Now our time has come, and I'd be satisfied if we died together. Yeah, our climate's fucked, we might as well enjoy the weather. Our time is up, and I'd be satisfied if we died together.
You and I could be capsulated inside a space the size of a minute raisin in quiet and icy stasis. And when the fires slay our cryogenic hideaway, we could try to lie awake and dream about the finer days. Before the roads and paths were frozen ashen plains, and the cities turned to itty-bitty rows of crashing planes, cracking pavement through the sad arrangements, broken after stains of blood and decimation, separating bones and mass from brains. When the days of old and past decay and exit through the years, we can lay in fields of shattered glass and question why we're here. If so many left this planet without any second chances, why did we awake one morning to a separate time of cheer? But the queries tend to drift and fade as eeriness can slip away, and hearing me, the loneliness demotes itself to in-your-face awareness of surroundings, like photographs and picture frames. I'm glad to know it's only you and I among the flicking flame. Maybe even time to take a couple minutes off, and we can live forever while the planet is eclipsed in fog. It might boast disaster, dear, but we can sing a different song and use the White House pillars as a mighty builder's Lincoln logs. Make games of chutes and ladders out of real chutes and ladders in an old apartment complex like we even knew it mattered. Through the battered, beaten, broken bones of factories and open homes, I'm sure we'd survive enough to see the moons of Saturn. Solving puzzles of the universe from Jupiter to Mars, playing scientists to try and say we flew there in our cars. Like, maybe it's not all bad, this scenic view's bizarre, watching hydrocarbon Neptune snow dissolving from the stars. And I never thought I'd say this, but frankly it's been peaceful to escape from that distasteful state of hate, deceit, and evil. Sure, a planet to ourselves is quite a journey for two people, but the only time I'm happy for is the time I get to see you.
I always knew